welcome to the Real Nelson Podcast, where we talk everything family, fitness, and relationship.
What is relationship, you might ask? It is a relationship that turns into it's a friendship. My bad. It's a friendship that turns into a relationship, much like our marriage.
Yes, sir. Had to move your mic.
Yeah.
You are so funny. I don't know why I let we do it. We so aggressive. So today's title is I Ain't Sleeping on the Couch.
Not at all.
Okay. Now, where I got that from, let's just be honest. You so comfortable.
I might have to take my socks off.
Oh, we're not doing that. The people don't need to see these.
Beautiful towels.
Okay, so where we got that I ain't sleeping on the couch is, the question is, when I'm mad, can I put him on the couch? And when he mad, can he put me on the couch? Now, in all of your favorite, especially back in the day TV shows like Family Matters, Everybody Loves Raymond.
All the
That's
TV
one of mine.
shows that taught you how to be a family.
Exactly. Even in Martin, I think Gina threw, she put him on the couch. So the question is,
the man was always put on the couch.
Absolutely, because it was just preposterous and outrageous to think that the woman would ever be put on the couch.
Yeah,
so the question
is
it is.
Okay.
But the question is, can you ever step so far out of bounds? Can I be so mad at you to put you on the couch?
Absolutely not. I'm not going on the couch. Even if you wanted me to go on the couch, I ain't going. You got too much space in that bed.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And it's like, you don't control me. Now, if we ever got into a situation where you pick me up and put me on the couch, then I'm definitely staying on the couch.
I can't pick you up. First of all, please don't say that.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
That sounded so weird to even envision me picking you up.
If I was put on the couch, I ain't moving. Because that's where all my
if I can finally pick you up, listen. If I can finally pick you up and put you on the couch, you better watch out because I'm about to just backhand you.
While I'm getting carried, all my little strength and ego is like fading with every step you take.
Testosterone is just falling out your body as you go into the
gone.
Yes, it is.
Gone.
It is.
Now, with that being said, can I put you on the couch?
That's just so outrageous. I feel like I shouldn't even dignify that with the response.
I wouldn't even say that. Like, Dawn, you ain't sleeping in here with me. To the couch.
That's about, you look like a cartoon character because that's about, only in the fantasy world would you be able to put me on the couch.
What would you do if I said that though?
Seriously, I almost would be like, you funny. Like, I don't even, I would be mad, but I would almost be in shock and more of like are you serious? Are you trying to, is there a camera crew like behind you that's trying to punks, Cause I think my mindset is always like, do we not both pay bills up in here? Like, do we not? How did you all of a sudden become the owner of this? Yeah, no, this bed.
Cause
the couch. Yeah. No, I'm just bed. That's just absolute. That's such a.
I do not want to see your face tonight. Which goes into the facts.
Okay.
Right.
The facts.
Right. Unfortunately, many times. People are put on the couch because of an argument that goes unresolved.
Right.
Between spouses. And in many cases, even outside of that argument or the disagreement, many cases, it's one of those things where it's a form of punishment. Mm-hmm. And let's keep it 100% honest.
Right.
It's when the woman punishes the man.
Because y'all keep doing stuff.
She wants to punish him and make him sleep on the couch with the hopes that he will change his behavior in the morning.
Yeah, it's like you're a bad dog. Like, pop him on the wet nose, I guess, and then send him to his, you know what I mean? And then learn your lesson and come back. Like, that's really what it is.
That's so crazy.
No, it is.
When you put it out, when you say it like that, it's like, I'm going to punish you.
Yeah. Even when I think through of the TV shows, like just an example, I don't know why, because on Everybody Loves Raymond, she always did it. Like that was her, like that was one of the main things she did. And he would just be so like, oh my goodness, like I know I messed up.
Always be trying to talk about my
I'm
voice.
not going to do his voice.
What's the wife's name? Do you remember the wife's name?
No, I don't.
I'm not sleeping on the couch. That's his voice.
No, that's like an animated.
I'm not sleeping on.
First of all, you're not gonna play Raymond like that. That's not what he sounded like.
He is very nasally.
He is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought about it. He is. But we're not doing that. But so, okay, for me, one thing that I think about is that we have to debunk, talking about where it was about 2 weeks ago, I was sitting down with his granny, y'all. I was sitting down with his granny at his dad's event. He was getting honored because he's awesome, right?
My dad. Shout out to my dad, the real Mr. Do the Math.
Yes, sir. And so he's getting honored. So I'm sitting down with Granny Nelson, his grandmother. And she's telling me about her and her husband, Grandpa Nelson, has been married about 60-something years. Mm-hmm. So anything you got to tell me, I'm listening, all ears. I'm like, yes, ma'am. She tells me, one of the things, she's going down the list of make sure you guys do this and you do this. And then all of a sudden she goes, and just never go to bed mad. And I remember I was like, I don't know about that one. And the reason why I say that is not I'm trying to go to bed mad, but I'm gonna just be honest. Let's talk about this. If something pops off at 10 o'clock at night, probably ain't getting resolved today. I'm going to bed. Like
especially for you, right? Because
yeah.
especially for you, because you got a 9:30 bedtime, right? And like oftentimes you'll be like, I remember when we first started dating, right? We got into arguments or disagreements.
Okay.
And you'll be like, all right, let's talk about it in the morning. And I'm thinking like, because this is a common thing, particularly in like super, super churchy families, families that are like, let's say, orthodox, you know what I mean? Families, they're like, don't go to sleep angry, never go to bed angry, and all of these things. And so for me, when we were dating, I was like, okay, like, we can't, if she's upset with me, we gotta like, nail this down before she go to bed. Otherwise.
And for me, my thinking, the reason why I was so comfortable saying, no, let's talk about this tomorrow is if we are very clear in our everyday actions, that I show you I love you, that I respect you, that I'm here for you. When we have this disagreement, that does not change tonight because you made me mad about this topic.
For sure.
So for me, it's like, why do we act like this is the end of the world where we need to stay up for another hour or two talking about something that's like, the irritation will still be there tomorrow. And if you know I love you, like, and I know it comes from the place of like, well, if you don't want something to happen to that person and the last thing that you did will be irritated. But I'm like, my everyday actions, I love you. This disagreement that we have is not the end of the world. So for me, that's why I've always been okay with like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to sleep. Like I'm going to sleep.
Here's the
because I love you and I'll be here tomorrow.
As you were saying, it's like here's the real thing. What's the real thing? Because when you said like the going to sleep part and all of those things, the real thing is forgiving your partner, right?
Right.
Forgiving your partner before you go to bed. You know what I mean? Or before you rest your eyes. Because the reality is like when we have a disagreement, if it's something that we just ain't seeing eye to eye to, and we just on a standoff.
Yeah.
The reality is like, again, I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And oftentimes, especially with younger couples or newer relationships, one of the things is they expect everything to be rainbows and sunshines, right? Everything like if we're together, we love each other.
Yes.
If we love each other, that means that we don't disagree with each other.
Right.
We don't fight. And if we fight, it's over.
Yeah.
And the reality is because we're human, and because we're raised differently, we got different ideologies and different beliefs, and we're coming together with those different ideologies and beliefs. Like sometimes we're gonna be mad at each other.
That's it. Like, and for me, that's why I said I found comfort in. Like I said, I know, and I've always been very clear that like you're going to have disagreements. Like that's just a fact because you're bringing two different people together under one roof, and you're saying this is for the end of time.
Yeah.
And so as we continue to grow and change and all that, there's no way. Like I don't agree all the time with my mama. So it's like, how would I? You know what I mean?
For sure. Like every day we're actually unpacking things that like norms that we've had. That like, okay, we realize that as an adult, we can't live like this. Or this, I don't necessarily agree with that. And oftentimes, like, we have those realizations when we're together. Yeah. Right. It's like, I remember, like, honestly, that was like groundbreaking for me when you did that. I was like, okay, this relationship finna be different. Like for real, and like, all right, like, don't get me wrong. I ain't had many relationships, but I based it off
in them streets. Okay, boy.
High boy summer. No, but like to be quite honest, like I didn't have many relationships, like, but I did. I watched my parents. Like my parents, like I was blessed to have like my parents. They stayed together. Yeah. They've been married for 39 years, right? My grandparents, both sets of grandparents, right? I watched both sets of grandparents like thrive and be together. And so for me, like one of those main things that they would say is don't go to sleep arguing or any of those things. And so for me, I thought that was a recipe for success in a relationship, right? And so when you said that,
go ahead, because I got a question.
It made me look at what was being said and to act differently.
Okay. Because I was going to say, when I said it, because this is the first time I'm for it. We're all, breaking news. We're all learning this for the first time. I did not know this. We never said this. So did you think that I was tripping the first time I said it?
Look, when we first started dating,
Did,
it was.
did anyone
I would
else hear yes under that? Like that
no,
was
no,
a
no.
yes.
It wasn't no yes. It was. Let me get my words out. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so it wasn't a yes. It was just one of those things where like we're in that honeymoon phase of like
Absolutely.
getting to know each other, right? And this was just one of those things that I was getting to know about you, and it just made me like again. It was like, all right, I love this girl, right? I love this girl, and we gonna be together. She has this view,
Okay.
right? She has this opinion.
Yeah.
I need to understand why she feels so comfortable with being like, all right, let's table this and let's reconvene.
That's
in the
what it
morning.
is. In my mind,
You know?
I'm not, I'm saying let's table this.
For
That
sure,
was
for sure,
I'm
for
saying that was
sure.
a good way. I feel like I wasn't able to articulate what I think in those moments.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's like, no, listen, okay, we both obviously recognize this is something we need to address.
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm not sending you you're not sending me. Now, let me
Yeah.
be honest. I think this might even be further down. I don't even know if I want to even say this, but there are definite moments when you're so irritated, still not going to the couch, but you're so irritated where you're like, I'm laying down, the heat on my back, the fact that his 98.0 degrees is in this bed with me is bothering me. Like, yes, I want you alive, but you way too close. Like, you know what I'm talking about,
No, for
y'all. When
sure.
you so irritated with a person, you're just like,
You
right
so right,
now,
dog. You are so right. I can definitely.
you have
relate.
never been irritated with me. When I tell y'all I am smooth.
We've had moments. So like, don't be pushing our guests. No, like we legit had moments where I've been so irritated with her. Like Dawn likes to sleep with she likes to sleep like listening to either
Oh, I did not know where you was going with this. First of all,
either
whatever.
Monk or whatever.
TV
like
on.
she got her
Raise your
TV
hand.
playing
My TV
while she go to
listeners,
sleep.
my TV listeners going to sleep. Don't play with noise. Don't play with me. Nobody want it quiet.
Absolutely.
Turn on. Okay, it used to be, now not gonna lie, Martin and stuff, that used to be Family Guy. They used to be loud. My TV used to be loud, but is it not? It's lower.
You've gotten better.
Boom.
Here's the- hey,
growth.
what?
You gonna give me growth?
You can have it. Congratulations.
Growth. Listen, this marriage is forever. He not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. We together.
And so in that stage of learning my new partner, right? She had these things that were like, oh. So case in point, like she used to listen to Martin. She watched Martin. No, she listened to Martin because she would be asleep.
I would.
Right? And
need noise.
I would be irritated with her.
But he didn't really
I would be
tell
irritated
me.
with her. And like Martin and Gina would be yelling at each other. Just like
Just go to
because on
sleep.
that show they be yelling. They just be yelling. And so while I'm over here like kind of frustrated about things
This
and trying
is
to figure out
tickling
how
me.
I'm gonna articulate, yo, hey man, this bothered me. Martin and Gina, man. And I'm like, oh my gosh, turn this off. And as soon as I would turn the TV off, she pop up like, what's this?
Cause I'm like, sir, I was listening to that.
But again, it was just one of those things where it's like, all right, like, this is irritating me. But I can't leave.
You're not going nowhere.
I can't leave, right?
So no, they had to. I'll just say this to kind of sum that part up because I feel like I need to sum it up because
ahead.
it was me bringing the issue to the table. I absolutely had to compromise. Like I had to put on.
Absolutely.
What I did
That
not
was a
think about was I was like,
compromise.
okay, now I need to at least put on the sleep timer, right?
Yeah.
I remember thinking like I'd never even envisioned that was I didn't need to know about that. I knew it, but I didn't know about that because I want to sleep without the whole time. And so once he really kind of expressed to me like this stuff was really annoying, I'm like, okay, absolutely. This takes me to when you talk about the agree to disagree.
For sure, right?
You said Bobby told you?
Look, like it's
Did I throw you off by throwing that at you?
You don't always like, yeah, because I was gonna say something else about that.
Ooh,
like, right?
sorry.
Let me rewind real fast. Cause here's the thing, like she watched TV or she had TV playing.
Man,
and
you
I had to
dragging this out.
understand-
You
because I
making
had
me
to
feel
understand-
bad.
Don't feel bad, babe. Like I had to understand where she was coming from. Like when we started dating, you was a
Come on.
single, independent
I
woman,
was.
right? And so the noise was comfort for you.
It was.
Therefore, I was like, okay, cool. Because there was a compromise both ways. It wasn't just like, hey, we dating now, like we together now. All the stuff you do, you gotta cut out.
First of all, you wasn't standing in my place when we was dating.
I know.
So you said we
But,
dating
like,
now. So
when
I
I
was just
would
gonna say,
come-
don't make it seem
Was
like
we married then?
yes, we were married. You were not in my bed before we were
You're
married,
right,
boy.
though. I'm just thinking early in our relationship. So early in our marriage. Like, yeah, because here, disclaimer.
Y'all better-
Hold on.
This man just said he was in my bed.
We dated for a year and then we got married.
And you was not
So
in my
early
bed
in our
before that
relationship
year.
was year 2, right? Early in our relationship.
I'm just
year
saying, don't
2.
have these people thinking I was loose.
Neither
clutch
was I.
my pearls.
I wasn't no flus. You just getting flowed out. You was
Flued
getting-
out. It's
You was
flued out.
You was fluding me out to come and keep you company and then send me back to my job.
He's so slow. Okay.
But where am I at?
Agree to disagree.
I don't know. Like again, like yeah, this is a perfect segue. I don't always like you. Like you're not gonna always like me. Yeah, but like this is the way the segue is going, right?
No, it's cool. It
in a
is-
relationship, let me backtrack it, right? In a relationship, you're not gonna always like
Y'all,
your
he
partner.
going rogue right now.
I'm not. I'm trying to stay young. Look, you ain't gonna always like your partner, and that's normal.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna always like your
true.
partner. And then when you have those disagreements, like that's one of those moments.
Mm-hmm.
And the time for reconciliation is gonna look different, right? And if you don't allow space for reconciliation, it becomes little small cracks,
Mm-hmm.
right? And one of those things, so one of my mentors, Bobby Kersey,
Bye-bye.
right? The great Bobby Kersey. When he was I used to live with Bobby, and he used to give me relationship advice, and like I used to get relationship advice from elder men that were in marriages and divorcees, and I would listen to it, and I would just like really just like kind of embed it into my mind. And one of the things he told me is like sometimes you're gonna have to agree to disagree, right? And that's a hard thing for
Yes, it is.
single people coming together, right? Because like for me, like whatever I say is law in my little world, but then when I bring it in,
Yep.
when we combine
Yep.
our worlds, like how did you feel? Like,
Oh no, absolutely. And still I have moments where I kind of struggle with it, if I'm just being honest. And the reason why I say I struggle is because it's early in our relationship, I absolutely had the mindset of like, to a sense of like, we should agree. Not we have to, but we should agree, because if we agree, then we can now work towards this
We can move
goal
forward.
together. Yeah, that was how I saw it. So it was
Yeah.
like, if we disagree and we stay in this disagreement, then it's like, how do we work? How do we move forward? And it is healthy for our relationship, or we're prospering and we're growing together. So that's for me what I feel like I kind of struggle with, of like making sense of the agree to disagree. But it's like now I definitely understand, because it's just some things, it's like, it's just not that big of a deal. When it's like, I know,
Absolutely.
like we got our core values together, we good. Like, so this
For
little
sure.
topic that came up about this TV show or whatever,
yeah,
it's like
that
doesn't
ain't changing nothing. Like
Exactly,
my
but-
irritation ain't gonna get past the
Right.
sunrise.
But I'll say this though, I remember thinking to myself, like, agree to disagree means I say my opinion, and then you hear me, and then you say yours,
and then
right?
I agree to your opinion.
And then I felt like, well, okay, you're still saying yours, so let me say mine again, because clearly you didn't hear what I was saying, because
what you said
what I
was
said
dope.
was right.
Yeah.
It made sense.
yeah.
So let me say what I'm going to say again, because at the end, you're going to agree, because guess what? I make sense. And so that was really what I kind of struggled
And then
with.
we had this back and forth, because look, I come from a house of like teachers. My parents were
Yeah.
teachers. And so my parents would say what they said, make you repeat what they said,
Yeah,
and then we
listen,
have a
I
review
witnessed
afterwards.
it.
And so like
It's
when
a
we
lesson.
having this disagreement, I need you to understand where I'm coming from. And then I need you to like understand where I'm coming from and agree with it.
But I'll be right.
Yeah. And so look, so I'm sure we have some people on here that are like a zodiac heavy, right? Like she's a Taurus,
Are we
right?
really?
We ain't gonna talk about, I'm gonna just say she a Taurus, right? I'm a Virgo, but I'm gonna just talk about me and my issues.
Oh wow, look at you being an adult.
Yeah, look.
you about
so
to
look,
attack me.
I'm the type of person, I've always been this way. Got
Oh.
proof. I'm the type of person, if I believe a thing,
Oh. This is true.
I'm gonna ride it to the grave.
This is true.
I have proof. When I was 5 years old, you remember that?
Yes, no, yeah, you're
When I was
crazy. No, I'm
5 years
listening to the
old,
story. This is
right. I was in
5.
kindergarten.
That's Harper next year. That's this is
That's a problem, right? So me and my friends, I had 3 friends. We got dropped off at the wrong bus stop.
Terrible.
5 years old, dropped off at the wrong bus stop. All our friends was like, "Hey, we're gonna walk to Lonzo's house," right? And I was like, "Well, my house is that way." And they was like,
All
nah,
of them.
it's that way. And I was like, no, it's that way. And they was like, nah, we gonna go that way. So I was just like, okay, cool. I'm going that way
He
still.
went that way by himself.
And I walked my little big old head
guess what?
home.
My baby was right and he made it home.
And I got home.
Them kids still ain't been found. No, I'm just playing. That's not funny.
That's the rode though.
Yeah, your mama was not having that.
But like starting early, I always had this mindset that like, yo, like this is what I
Yeah.
believe. And now I'm taking this little mindset. You see this big head here.
I was about to say.
This mindset into a relationship. Some stuff got to change, and that's
So-
called maturity.
It is. Let's hit him with a couch moment.
All right. So look, we all got those couch moments, even
Right.
though
You don't
she
go to the
ain't.
couch.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah,
in my
yeah.
notes, I wrote down a couch moment that I had, like where I'd be like, ooh, I'm sleeping on the couch because I'm so mad at her.
You know what? I didn't even look at his notes.
You ain't looking at my notes?
No, it's called whatever.
All right, yeah. But again,
Wait, you about to say
it's
something about me?
Yeah. I be mad at you know why I be mad at you. So look, for me, a couch
You're not
moment for
gonna
me
keep
is
surprising
when I
me in
get
front
my
of these
feelings hurt.
people.
She hurt my feelings, but it be like
These
it be
people are
founded.
guests.
Look, so
Y'all
look,
family. Here we go, Here we go, family.
when Dawn breaks a promise that she has, Mama, close your ears again.
Hold up,
so look,
pause, man.
no, I didn't go. Hey, so our last episode,
Man, can we delete this episode
hey, so our
already?
last episode, we was talking about BOOTY. My mama said that was hard to listen to. To imagine my baby. Hey,
Listen, I hadn't heard from either of our moms, so I was hoping that this was the one episode. But you know what? Look, the title was "Do Kids Ruin Marriage?" So absolutely, they clicked on it. They want to see
I
it.
don't know if your mama heard it yet.
No, I don't know. But if she did, no, my mother is very much of like, I'm just gonna. That didn't happen right
Yo,
now, so I'm
hey,
just gonna.
My parents hit the notification button, so as soon as it went live at 12, like they tuned in and they put it on that TV.
Oh, I'm getting. I'm sorry, Mrs. Nelson.
But again, like so,
Once again, clutch my pearls.
so like again,
I'm a lady.
we've had
Yeah.
we've had moments, right?
Yes.
We've had couch moments. And like I think that it's like really good for us to share the couch moment that
Oh, I was irritated with you.
yeah.
So, okay. So he actually mentioned this last night saying like he was going to bring it up. And it's funny because I actually found myself getting emotional again thinking about it. So for me, we said, if we going to do this podcast, we want to be real. We want to be,
this is a real situation.
And I'm very clear that I feel like there's no way you already know when you're retelling the story, there's no way to truly express exactly like the weight and the heaviness of it or how you exactly felt all the emotions in the moment. So anyway, so what it was I had an event where I had to go and basically like speak. Basically kind of go and speak, right? I was going to go read books to these little kids and kind of speak to them.
Appearance. Her
And yes.
Olympic appearance.
I had an Olympic appearance. And so I told him, I'm not worried about it. I told him, I need you back because he's going with me. And so I'm like, I need you back by, this is easy numbers, 3:00. So we could leave by, say 3:45. So we, but I need you back because I need help with the girls.
Yeah.
And he was going to a yoga event that he had. But the event was done well before. So I already looked at everything like, oh, he should be able to, have some time afterwards and then come back. Don't want to rush him. 3:00 kind of gets there. 3:30 gets there. And the thing is I had not heard from him. And so we share our locations on our phone. And so I look at the location and I see that he's still there.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling in my stomach of like, he's just dismissing me. Like the reason last night I told him I got emotional was because, and I'm just be honest, I've always, never in a million years did I ever think that I would even kind of fathom him dismissing me. And that's what it felt like in the moment, that he was like, what I'm doing right now, talking to these people, wrapping up this event is more important, when I knew that it had been done about 40 minutes ago. And he knew that I was home with the girls and I needed help. And so I was very confused on why he was dismissing. Why? Like, I just didn't know why. And so he comes through the door. And first of all, he came through the door
to add insult to injury,
on
right?
the phone.
Yeah.
Y'all, I was like, I'm going to break the phone and then we just going to have to figure out how he getting another one. Like, I didn't, but I was so confused because I'm like, first of all, you already know. Yeah, anybody, man or woman, you come in the door and you late. You coming in like, okay, what's up? I'm sorry. And you do whatever. He came in like wrapping up whatever conversation. I really was like, who am I married to? Who is this dude? That was really kind of my thing. I was super confused. And it's funny, I'm still finishing my story because a part of me is like, man, this don't even sound like it's that big, Dawn. But I'm like, no, it was big because we just don't do that to each other.
Because one of the things was I promised to be back at a specific time.
And
right?
It was so far past that time,
I promised to be
y'all.
back at a specific time. And what had happened was while I was there and I was getting close to the time that I was supposed to first be leaving, I got caught up in some stuff, and then I looked up and like more time had passed, and I knew that I was in trouble.
So this is the part that made it hard for me was, in my mind, I said clearly he had gotten caught up in time doing things, and say he's supposed to be home by 3:30 came and he didn't know it. He was, you know how you like, for it's a such thing as really, really being busy, especially when you're like over this event. So you're kind of caught up. 3:15 happens and you notice and you're like, oh my goodness. And you leave at least by 3:30. He tells me when we finally sit down and talk about it that no, he saw that it was 3:00 and he still stayed. What am I supposed to do with that information? You blatantly dismissed. I was so confused. And it was like, no matter how many times I said it to him and he gave me an answer and was like, I'm sorry, it still was like, you can't take away this feeling of like, nah, bro, you don't care like you say you care. I don't care because your actions speak louder than you. I'm saying in the moment.
No,
you know?
But like the other part that made it hard for you, well, for us in that moment was like, it was the fact that I wasn't necessarily like as apologetic as I should have been.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like, so there's several places where I messed up in that situation, right?
Because you also forget to go and get the milk and bring stuff home for the baby.
The first thing was not leaving when I said that I was going to.
Yeah.
Right? And I got caught up in what I was doing. The second thing was not contacting her and letting her know that I was aware of what was going on, just to catch her up on what's going on, right? Because oftentimes when we make agreements or when we make promises and we don't hold our end, there's a lot of things that play in our head when we don't hear from our partner.
Absolutely.
Right? So that was the second thing. The third thing was I totally forgot about the other thing that I was supposed to do, right? Which was get Zoe's milk supplies, right? And then the fourth thing. So it's like all of these bad things happen.
Buddy.
I came in and my sense of urgency didn't match my sense of urgency, right? And so I was very apologetic, but I wasn't moving in a very apologetic manner. So which it just made it just played more into how you were feeling, right? And to be quite honest, like we still are recovering from like that situation.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm like, that's embarrassing to say. Like that's embarrassing to say. Like I feel like I really just aired out my dirty laundry. Like I'm like, you know, because I even like I had to leave the house. Like once I got done with my event, you know, I was like, okay, I'm done with that. But I'm like, I need to go to, I gotta go to my sister's house. I was so,
Yeah, you was like, you out.
Yeah, I was out. And it was on them like, I don't really care what you got later. I don't care what's happening. The girls is here. Y'all will be all right. Like, I'm gone. And so I called my sister and I literally was just like, I don't even feel like going to your house because I don't want to see your husband and I don't want to see my happy niece. She's gonna be so excited to see me, and Auntie ain't got that to give. And so I literally was like, just be outside. So she opened the garage, we sat in the garage and we just talked, and it was just like, okay, so say all that to say, things can happen. That's not, it's groundbreaking for me, but it's not groundbreaking. You know what I mean? Because we still sat down and had the conversation. No one was getting on the couch.
Nothing. No.
It's just not getting on the couch because, well, I think that goes into, like we were saying, some of the reasons of why you shouldn't. Yeah. Because I feel like to me, you being on the couch in that moment, because you know what it was? I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I was disappointed. So for me, that extra distance of you being on the couch in that moment.
This distance was going to get further.
It would have felt like it,
Because again, this was one of those things. This is one of those situations that wasn't going to get fixed in a day.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so I apologized and there's nothing more that I could do but apologize, right?
In that moment,
And I was cool with, and I understood her leaving. Like she had to go step out, get some.
I went and got
she
a burger.
wasn't leaving me.
No.
She
No, I was
ain't
not.
leaving
No, I
me.
was not.
I knew she wasn't going nowhere.
Okay, sir. I wasn't.
But again, like, but in that situation, like if you had your distance, we wasn't gonna reconcile enough in that evening, and you was like, hey, sleep on the couch. What would have happened is I would have then started to like feel some type of way. It's like, okay, I understand. Like I understand where I messed up.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do to fix it.
Yeah, I
and
said
she
I'm
still
sorry.
wants to like drive this home, then I'm gonna be like, man, I don't even care no more. Right. And like you said, this is our situation, but in other relationships, it could be something different. Like, you know what I mean? And this wedge could then
so what it is this physical wedge, right, starts to turn to how my mindset just said it's an emotional wedge, right? And then it's like that starts to grow. So it's like, you think right now you're just saying like, nah, I'm cool on him. He needs to learn. My fear would be for him one day to start to grow callous to it, because you're like, if this is what it is, then like that.
She gonna always act like this. And like to segue into something that's very important in what you said, right? You were upset with me. It was a relationship situation. You went and talked to your sister, who is also a married woman. Right?
That I trust. Yeah,
that
and that she not,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, like, and when we were together, and I mean we are together, but when we were doing the bi-coastal thing, you know what I mean? When you were out, when you were in LA training and I was here in St. Louis, if we had those situations, I was intentional about making sure that I like confided in other happily married men, because if we got into a disagreement,
you can't be talking
on top of the fact we already physically so far away.
I know.
If I got accustomed to like hooking up with like single brothers to be like, hey man, Don did this and I'm just so upset. Hey man, just go out with me. Hey, let's go out. Let's have some drinks and all of this stuff. That could be that's the beginning of the end. Or you're in the house, we have a disagreement, right? And it's one of those things where I slept on a couch or whatever, or you slept on a couch or you slept at your sister's house or something like that. Yeah. The next day I go to work and the first person I talk to is,
don't play with me.
The work wife or something like that.
That is,
you know what I'm saying?
Your work
wife or your work husband or whatever.
Do we need to do an episode on that? He does not have a work wife. I can't.
Oh, she did that. I would never do that. I would never.
Girl, don't make me catch you at your job. Yes, you would.
Hey, it made me think about like, you know how remember Money Talks and he was in jail. Not Mike Epps. Tucker. Chris Tucker was in jail. He was telling the story. He's like, big word. He's like, you hot? You hot? I'm hot too.
He said he grabbed me. He said he grabbed you like this.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But like that's the setup though. All of those things are the setup. So it's like this wedge right here creates a bigger wedge if we don't do something about it. So
look, I was gonna say, I know we were talking about why you shouldn't. You know what I realized we didn't do?
What?
Explain why we in our pajamas. I just want to say real quickly, like we in our pajamas.
On the couch.
Yeah, because think about it. The other episode was on the couch. But this one is I ain't sleeping on the couch. So we said we want to get comfortable. We want to get real down to the nitty gritty. In order to do this, he gets on my nerves. In order to do this, we was like, let's get comfortable. Let's show the people that we legit dropping our guard. I'm just saying, because I laughed. I was like, we didn't acknowledge pajamas at all.
We sorry. We had to get to it. Not yet though. Slow down. She be in such a hurry. Like,
no, listen. Okay, so look, let me tell you, because we still new to this podcast thing, right?
Yes.
My brain's like, we got to be on hour 30.
Nah, I don't think we that far.
But I'll say this though, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I feel like we dropped some gems in this one.
Gem dropping. That's for like Amanda Seals. Shout out to Amanda Seals, one of my favorite podcasts. But I was going to say this, babe.
What?
Like when I was thinking about my fact, yes, there are reasons that people do sleep on the couch.
Not saying they should, but there are reasons that they do.
Not because of disagreements, right? There's medicinal reasons, right? Like if I snore, if somebody
you better
snores,
get gone.
Absolutely.
Listen, Mr. Stan, my mama said he snores so loud. Halisi, my sister's husband, my brother-in-law snores so loud.
Because we can't be offended people. It's like, well, we sleep on the couch. And it's like, no, we understand. Like there's some situations where people do sleep on the couch. Like, hey, I don't sleep on the couch because Dawn get mad at me, but I be having my moments where like if this thing is clogged, hey, I have this, I don't know.
Let me tell y'all,
it's this
I'm
mental
not sad
thing
at all when he get up
my
and goes
nose
to the
gets clogged, like, and I lay on my back, I feel like
listen, y'all. This is him. He laying in bed. He like, I can't breathe. I be like,
real,
go
like, I
to the
promise
couch.
that's how I feel, and I have to sleep like this.
Literally.
Like this.
You should see him. Look, so let me tell you what I've told him before, and I am so serious with every fiber of my being. Open your mouth.
It's
your
not the
nose is
same.
clogged. Just open your mouth. No, he'll be like, I can't breathe through my nose. Bruh, the Lord gave us a whole nother
did.
hole called your mouth.
He
open
did,
your
but at
mouth.
bedtime, that's too much work.
That is so. Okay. Anyways,
But yeah,
listen.
I wanted to make sure that we did mention that, right? We like there are some situations, right?
Yes, there are, but I still don't agree. So
but
look, so let
again-
me say this.
Go ahead,
Married
baby.
or not, do y'all think it's okay? We need y'all to drop in the comment section. Do y'all think it's okay to put your partner, your spouse, your loved one on the couch when you feel like
Loved one,
they've
your
messed up?
lover, not your loved one. That's like your grandma.
Is it okay to put them on the couch? Can they do something that's so trifling to you in your mind that you justify saying you need to go to the couch and they accept it? Let us know in the comment section. I cannot wait to be like, agree, don't, yeah, all that. So let me just say, you good, babe? You said all your pieces?
We did forget to tell people to like hit the notification button
Listen.
and like and subscribe and all of that stuff.
We in the beginning.
Please, 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 please,
Listen.
please. We need your
This
support.
good stuff. Okay.
Yeah. If this conversation is something that you would like for a friend of yours, a loved one,
Yes.
to hear, please
This
share.
is true.
And if you've had a comment, you agree with something, Don gave you an assignment, right? Right? Comment below.
Yes.
Make
yes,
sure you
I
hit that
did.
notification button for our next episode to drop.
So look, you just had real talk with the real Nelsons. He gets on my nerves. Do not forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button.
Peace.